Are you looking to self-publish your book beyond the confines of Amazon? Would you like to know one viable alternative to Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing that'll get your book on Amazon and dozens of other retail sites and libraries? Then look no further than Draft2Digital, also known as D2D. Founded in March 2012 by Chris Austin, D2D is headquartered in Oklahoma City and offers a range of free and automated tools for self-published authors and independent presses. D2D distributes ebooks and paperback books to a wide array of retailers and library systems. I'll cover each of those avenues, what you can expect, and what D2D pays you for each sale. What makes Draft2Digital so unique is their revenue share model. Yes, it's free to publish through Draft2Digital with no strings attached, but that comes with a split in revenue. How it's split and what you get varies by the retail platform and publication type, so let's cover each option in granular detail. Draft2Digital currently distributes ebooks and paperback books while offering some assistance with publishing audiobooks. Let's explore each avenue. Draft2Digital excels the most in digital publishing, so you can expect seeing them shine in so many ways with ebooks. Account holders can publish their ebooks for free in exchange for the revenue split as mentioned earlier, but it gets kind of tricky if you don't pay attention to the avenue Draft2Digital reaches. Account holders get distribution to digital stores, subscription services, and library services, each with their own payout model. In their words, the short answer is that our fee is approximately 10% of the price you set for your book. That means most of our stores take about 30%. Draft2Digital takes about 10%, and you keep about 60% of the list price of your ebook. Now this quote can be confusing, especially if you look at the royalty for each avenue. Since D2D acts as a middleman, understand that the retailer who sells your book gets their cut too. Draft2Digital takes 10% of your list price, not just 10% of net profits. Now, account for an additional chunk of royalty taken from the point of sale, and you're left with the rest. Unfortunately, D2D doesn't make that royalty agreement information publicly available because of privacy concerns with the individual retailers. And the only way for you to find out how much you'd get is on the last step of the ebook publishing process. The good news is, if you're not comfortable with a given avenue, you don't have to select distribution for it. For instance, I already publish books on Amazon through KDP, so I deselect that option on D2D. Just as a quick warning, do not publish KDP Select enrolled ebooks on D2D or anywhere away from KDP. That'll get you into hot water with Amazon, so avoid that at all costs. Publishing your ebook wherever you like is perfectly fine if you don't enroll it in KDP Select. Under digital stores, you reach Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Apple Books, Tolino, Viblio, the Smashwords Store, Gardner's, Fable, and Amazon. My publication, Amazon Keywords for Books, is $4.99. I get the following royalties at Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Apple, Tolino, Gardner's, Fable, and Amazon for 59.5% royalty. Viblio gets about 55% royalty, and Smashwords gets about 77% royalty. For subscription services, you enroll your ebook into premium lending programs and get paid on how much readers consume your book. Everand, formerly known as Scribd, and Kobo Plus are two fantastic options. Think of them like the counterpart to Kindle Unlimited. For Everand, once a reader gets past a certain threshold, like 20% or 10%, I don't have the exact number, you get paid the full retail value. Now, my book would get the standard 59.5% royalty. On Kobo Plus, you're dealing with a much different beast. In fact, I covered this program in my review of KDP Select, but we'll recap some of the important points. You'll notice you don't get projected royalties in the D2D dashboard for Kobo Plus. Now, Kobo Plus is a subscription service that allows users to read and listen to unlimited ebooks and audiobooks for a monthly fee. For only $7.99 per month, readers get access to over 1.5 million books through any Kobo e-reader or the Kobo app. But what's the catch? Kobo Writing Life must have seen the lopsided way KDP Select pays authors, so they came up with a different system. Instead of being paid by pages read, Kobo Plus pays authors based on the time consumed while reading. Each month, Kobo takes the total revenue earned from Kobo Plus subscriptions and the total minutes that all subscribers spent reading that month. Then they divide the monthly revenue by the minutes read, which designates the monetary value to each minute of reading. This value fluctuates from month to month based on the subscriber count and total reading time. Kobo Writing Life went on to say, imagine if we have 100 subscribers paying $9.99 a month each. Our total revenue for that month is $9.99. Let's imagine that those subscribers spent an average of 2 hours a day each reading. 2 hours a day for 30 days is 3,600. So 100 readers spent a collective total of 360,000 minutes reading on Kobo Plus that month. In order to pay our authors, we calculate the value of 1 minute of reading time. 999 divided by 360,000 is 0.0027. That is the monthly revenue minutes equaling the value per minute consumed. The payment rate for authors on Kobo Writing Life is 60%. This means that for every minute a reader spends reading your book, in this example, you earn 60% of the 0.0027 cents. A book that takes a reader 3 hours to read would therefore generate about 29 cents in earnings. Now, the Kobo Plus program continues to expand every year with a current reach at 18 regions. Compare that to Kindle Unlimited, where they only reach 12 regions. The part I love most about Draft2Digital is their reach into libraries. I'm a huge advocate for libraries, and it was critical for me to get my books there. Draft2Digital works with Overdrive, Odillo, Biblioteca, Baker & Taylor, Hoopla, BorrowBox, and Palace Marketplace. But library distribution differs from the other two models. D2D recommends charging 2 to 3 times more than your normal price because libraries will use the digital book with more than one user. You're paid in one of two ways. One copy, one user, which public libraries implement the one copy, one user practice for ebooks, requiring separate purchases for each copy to enable concurrent lending to multiple users. Once a library buys that book, it will remain in circulation indefinitely. Now, cost per checkout's the other one. It lets libraries lend the same book to multiple users by paying for each loan instead of a fixed price. Once a term period ends or you remove your book from distribution on this option, the book will no longer be in the library. Now, I increased the price of my $4.99 ebook to $14.99 for libraries. For the one copy, one user model, Overdrive, Odillo, Biblioteca, and Baker & Taylor and BorrowBox provide a 46.7% royalty. Meanwhile, Palace Marketplace provides the best royalty around at 59.5%. Now, for the cost per checkout model, Overdrive and Odillo pay about 10% of the one copy, one user model, or about 4.67%. According to D2D, Hoopla is based on a tiered pricing model. I get about 3.2% of the library price with them. Side note, carefully choose your ebook's price because unlike the other avenues, Hoopla won't update or change that price after you've published. It's stuck forever on that book unless you delist it and publish a second edition. As a whole, the Draft2Digital dashboard is easy to navigate and the process is fairly intuitive. Should you ever get lost, contact support for help at the bottom of the dashboard under Contact Us. D2D also has a YouTube channel with plenty of tutorials to help, so be sure to check them out. For your ebook, you can upload up to 100 megabytes of a doc, docx, ODT, and RTF, or come with your own pre-formatted EPUB file. I recommend that. The good news is if you don't have the patience or skills for formatting your ebook into EPUB, D2D has you covered with their automated interior formatting tool. In the third step of the upload process, D2D provides formatting free of charge. You have 28 templates to choose from with options for chapter or scene decorations. Now, once you're happy with it, you can download it in Mobi, EPUB, and PDF. Here's the crazy part. You don't have to publish through Draft2Digital if you want to use this tool. In fact, the CEO, Chris Austin, shared in an interview that he encourages authors to use that feature and doesn't want them to feel beholden to Draft2Digital, though he admitted authors staying with D2D would be the ideal scenario, of course. Now, is this tool flexible? Not really. There's no way to edit or change any of the elements. What you see, what you get. In March 2023, Draft2Digital announced the official launch of D2D Print, where you can publish paperback books in 6 trim sizes, including 5x8, 5.25 inches by 8 inches, 5.5 by 8.5, 6 by 9, 7.5 by 9.25, and 8.5 by 11. The minimum to maximum page count is 64 to 740 pages. The size and page count play a vital factor in how much you're paid per sale. You get 45% minus base print costs. And since this is print on demand, you're not responsible for any costs. The customer pays for the printing. Thankfully, Draft2Digital has a print calculator where you can input the trim size, page or word count, the currency, and the book's price. You'll see the unit cost and royalty breakdown. D2D works with Ingram Book Group to distribute your book to over 40,000 bookstores, libraries, and online retailers. This is the same distribution used through Ingram Spark and to a certain extent KDP's expanded distribution. But D2D knew their competitors have the same distribution, so they provided unique options unavailable on other platforms. For instance, free ebook to print book conversions. You can create a print cover from an ebook cover. Really cool tool, by the way. Free automated interior formatting, of course. Free ISBNs, though you can bring your own if you wish, and quite a bit more. Heck, I didn't even touch on the automated front and back matter options available through automated interior formatting tool. This means D2D will help you with the title page, copyright page, dedication, also by the way, side note, this is a great tool if you've already published content through D2D, new release email notification sign up, and this is excellent because it keeps your readers in the know about your latest releases, a teaser about the author, and of course about the publisher. Now, the biggest hang up I had initially about D2D print was the cost of ordering a proof copy. To enable distribution, all account holders must order a proof to verify quality. They originally charged $30 plus taxes for a proof copy. This higher premium provided expedited printing and fulfillment. In a comparison video, I shared how D2D's print-on-demand competitors charged roughly 70% less and the quality was roughly the same. Yes, the print quality comes out fairly even compared to the other companies, but the cost was just too much in my opinion. That's not to say your customer pays that much, just you paid that much. Well, that's no longer the case now. In March 2024, D2D announced international print support for 31 regions without paying the exorbitant shipping costs. When your book is officially available online, you can order wholesale author copies to use for in-person events, private sales, or just to self-distribute. My one nitpick I have is that if you want to make updates on your book, you can only do it for free once every 90 days. Beyond that, you have to buy a change token for $25 each. Platforms like KDP don't charge you for updates, but places like Ingram Spark charge a $25 update fee 60 days after publishing a book. It's kind of nice that D2D does it once for free every 90 days. Now, make sure you upload a manuscript that is 100% accurate to what you want, or you're going to have to pay a hefty fee. I'd love to see a calculator for proof pricing so I know what I'm getting into and I don't have to wait until I've uploaded everything only to find out the cost is still too high for my needs. Shout out to the D2D team for listening to my original gripes and improving the D2D print option. Indie authors need more options, so I'm glad to see D2D step up their game and offer a competitive print-on-demand option few platforms rival. My only other requests would be to see more trim sizes and add hardcover and hardcover with dust jackets as options. Knowing D2D's track record, it'll come in due time. I don't have any inside intel on that, by the way, so it's merely speculation at this point. In July 2017, Draft2Digital announced their partnership with the audiobook publishing company Findaway Voices. However, this deal would only be a bridge between one platform and the other. If you publish your ebook or print book through D2D, you can export the metadata to Findaway Voices with a single click. Beyond that, it's up to you to find a narrator off platform, manage the audiobook file upload, and deal with all the audiobook requirements from within the Findaway Voices dashboard. Draft2Digital takes no cut of the earnings coming from Findaway Voices. They're just merely providing an easy button for folks looking to handle all publication iterations of ebook, print book, and audiobooks in one place, of course. Spotify acquired the parent company of Findaway Voices for an estimated $123 million around June of 2022 and implemented a lot of changes, both good and bad. They've since diminished their market reach by removing some audiobook retailer options, removed their marketplace for narrators, and in February 2024 changed their terms and conditions in what many considered a massive rights grab. Within 2 days, Findaway Voices by Spotify changed the terms and conditions and launched an FAQ page to explain the new agreement in detail. Findaway Voices by Spotify deserves its own video, so I'll spare you the granular details. I'd love to see Draft2Digital offer audiobook distribution, even if it's direct sales option where they collect their cut similar to ebooks and print books. Do I have any inside intel on that? No, it's merely a pipe dream, so I'm hoping D2D is taking notes and considering this option for indie authors. I trust D2D more because they've never made an egregious mistake like Findaway Voices by Spotify did with the drastic changes in the terms and conditions. Rather than share every last feature and tool they have, I'll highlight a few key options and refer you to their knowledge base for an extended list. When you publish a book through D2D, they'll provide you with the universal book link. Quite a few authors aren't aware that when they share one link directing to a specific region, it creates friction for your international audience. If you share an Amazon US link to someone outside of the US, they can't buy your book. D2D creates a link that displays every marketplace your book appears. Once the potential reader clicks the retailer they prefer, they'll go directly to the region-specific marketplace. Draft2Digital outdid themselves in February 2018 when they launched the free-to-use service Books2Read. If you're not exclusively using Draft2Digital for distribution, Books2Read has you covered for universal book links. Books2Read, or B2R, is a D2D owned site and service that helps authors with certain aspects of marketing. With B2R, you can insert links to your paperback, hardcover, and audiobook iterations in addition to sharing ebook links. And to stack more value on that, they even allow you to enter any affiliate store IDs in the background, so if someone buys a book from your link to a specific retailer, you get a kickback. For example, I'm in the Amazon Associates program where I get about 4% per sale of my books. So I provide Books2Read with my affiliate store ID, and then it's set and forget. I essentially get to double dip on the sale of my book, legally mind you. I get paid once for the sale, and I get paid a small commission more for referring the customer. Meanwhile, your reader pays the same amount. It's a win for everyone. Books2Read also provides other services, so browse their site for more details. You will need a Draft2Digital account to log in, just a heads up. The next huge feature not enough people are talking about is payment splitting. Co-writing a book might be fun and profitable, but the headache of figuring out who gets paid what and paying them can be a hassle, especially years after publishing. Rather than fuss with all that extra work, D2D handles the payments for you. It's of no extra cost to you, but all payees must have an account, payment method, and a completed tax interview. PublishDrive is the only self-publishing company I know with a payment splitting tool called Abacus. Unlike D2D's tool, Abacus doesn't manage the payments and you have to pay a monthly fee for every book tracked. But you don't have to use PublishDrive for their payment splitting tool, and you get deeper analytics and tracking. So you know, I'm merely sharing an alternative should Draft2Digital not measure up to your expectations. I'd prefer the more hands-off approach to payment splitting in D2D, but that's just personal preference. In February 2022, Draft2Digital acquired another well-established digital publishing company called Smashwords. This came as a huge surprise to me because I always viewed them as adversaries. Apparently, this was far from the truth. I had the pleasure of interviewing both CEOs of Draft2Digital and Smashwords, and they were incredibly friendly and both driving home a sense of unity. Rather than work against each other, they decided it was best to work with each other to positively impact the indie publishing community at large. It's been a couple of years since that acquisition, and slowly, D2D has migrated some features from Smashwords, one of them being the Smashwords store. I cannot say enough nice things about the Smashwords store. Is it the most modern storefront? No. Is it professional and well laid out? Absolutely. Right now, you can publish your books to Smashwords through D2D. Eventually, all roads lead to D2D with only the Smashwords storefront up. When will that happen? No one knows. D2D is very deliberate about their movements. I'm sure they witnessed some of their contemporaries botch major moves. Back in 2018, CreateSpace merged with KDP and pandemonium ensued. Files were lost, earnings plummeted, and some metadata came in garbled up messes. It created a lot of extra work and hassle for account holders. Similar issues happened to Lulu and Ingram Spark in 2020. My thoughts are that D2D can take all the time they need if it creates less heartache for me in the long run. Now, there's 3 really cool features about Smashwords. The first being the coupon code creation. You can run special deals and discounts for your ebook without drawing the ire of platforms like Amazon. You can set these coupon codes for whatever you want and for however many redemptions you need. Next, Smashwords reports all sales to various bestseller lists, including USA Today, New York Times, Publishers Weekly, and more. So if you're really eager to get publicity through mainstream bestseller lists, then Smashwords needs to be in your next book launch strategy. I could devote an entire video to Smashwords, but I'll hold off with one more neat feature: the regular website sales. Smashwords is big about hosting big digital sales events where authors discount their books, then share it with their following. That explosion in traffic on Smashwords guides more customers and new readers to authors they may have never found in the sea of options on Amazon. I've personally seen a decent amount of sales for every event they host. Monitor your email inbox or subscribe to my podcast on YouTube for details about upcoming events. Around July 2023, Draft2Digital acquired the book cover design service selfpubbookcovers.com. Draft2Digital CEO Chris Austin shared, "Conventional cover design procurement is unnecessarily difficult and time-consuming for authors and artists alike. With the acquisition of SPBC, we're excited to introduce a better way for authors and artists to collaborate on the perfect cover design." Now, with the acquisition came the start of a new division called Author Success, headed up by the prolific author and founder of Author.email, Nick Thacker. He went on to say, "Our mission at Author Success, as it is with SPBC, is to help authors efficiently procure the highest quality essential publishing service for the least cost and effort. Just as authors have always been a key constituency of D2D, with the SPBC acquisition, cover artists are also now a key constituency we seek to serve at D2D. We want to help every professional cover designer in the world to participate in and profit from SPBC's unique pre-made covers marketplace." Now, I'm not entirely sure what the Author Success division will do for us right now, but knowing D2D's track record, it should be good news. Draft2Digital pays account holders once per month based on the payment method chosen. For direct deposit or PayPal, D2D has no minimum payment threshold. For an international direct deposit, there's a $10 minimum payment threshold. For Payoneer, it's a $20 payment threshold. And for check, it's a $100 minimum payment threshold. Now, keep in mind that since D2D is an aggregate publisher, you'll see some delays in sales from each retailer. This wait time varies, and if you have questions about common wait times, contact support. Now that you have a firm grasp on Draft2Digital, let's discuss my honest thoughts about the platform, including the good and the bad. Let's start it off with the pros of Draft2Digital. Number one, Draft2Digital is author focused. While they'd love for you to use their platform for publishing, they don't require it to use any of their free resources. Do you need your ebook or print book fully formatted but can't afford to hire a pro? Then use D2D's automated interior formatting tool. Would you like to create a universal book link that'll honor all readers regardless of the region? Then use Books to Read software. Number two, as mentioned previously, Draft2Digital is the ideal platform for cash-strapped authors. Between the automated formatting tools to universal book links and beyond, Draft2Digital offers solutions for any author working on a tight budget, and they never require exclusivity or a blood oath to use their tools. Number three, though Draft2Digital has been around for over a decade, they've shown no signs of complacency as they continue to iterate and improve all aspects of their business. They truly are a company run by indie authors for indie authors based on all the sweet features rolling out regularly. Ultimately, they know that if you succeed, they succeed. So they provide you with as many reasons to work with them as possible and a place to grow your author brand. While I'd love to tell you Draft2Digital is perfect and doesn't have a single flaw, they have some shortcomings and weaknesses, but they're no different from any other self-publishing company, so they're not exempt from this level of scrutiny. Number one, D2D print is still rather limited. Not to mention, you only get one free update every 90 days. Should you want to make additional updates to your print book, you have to buy change tokens at $25 a piece. It doesn't cost you a dime to update your print books on KDP, but D2D isn't alone in this practice of charging update fees because Ingram Spark has a $25 update fee for publication 60 days after publishing. I'm certain D2D isn't thrilled about the fee because if they could charge us for so many of these other free tools, they would have. This fee might reach beyond what D2D handles in their end of the bargain, possibly Ingram Book Group. Now that's speculation, and I do not have special insights into where that money goes. Number two, one Google search of Draft2Digital reviews will present you quite a few negative reviews and posts about the company. The criticism typically focuses on three recurring issues. Number one, account closures. Number two, withholding earnings. And number three, region blocking. Now, account closures are going to happen, especially if you've already been terminated from platforms like KDP. In their FAQ, D2D clearly states, no, if your book has been blocked on a retailer's site, Draft2Digital will not be able to publish it on your behalf. And sometimes account closures happen due to improperly filling out the tax info. D2D is required to follow protocols for KYC, or Know Your Customer. This is the mandatory process of identifying and verifying a person's identity when opening an account, and periodically checking, of course. Now, if an account's KYC isn't compliant, D2D has to revoke access until the account holder resolves the issue. And they can't pay someone if the KYC isn't in compliance. Therefore, the money remains in limbo. Now, as for blocking, some regions and specific countries are red flagged as hotbeds for bad actors, which prevents D2D from doing business there. This isn't the ideal scenario for D2D because they want to work with all authors. My recommendation? If you're blocked in your region, consider other alternatives like PublishDrive, Ingram Spark, Lulu, StreetLib, and more. Will you get the same distribution offerings as D2D? Probably not, but you can get most of the major retailers from other companies. Also, I'm not trying to take anything away from these review sites, but the vast majority of folks posting these negative comments share a fairly one-sided view of the exchange. I've covered some of these bad reviews in a previous video that I'll share later on. Number 3. There is a lack of transparency in the royalty structure. You can easily find out how much you make with D2D Print with their D2D Print calculator. For ebooks though, you have to figure that out by going to the last step in the publishing process. I asked for a list of royalty percentages based on the individual avenues, but they declined to comment due to privacy concerns. D2D negotiates the best deal they can based on the avenue. Every retailer is going to require different slices of the pie, so D2D doesn't want the retailers knowing what other retailers provide for royalties. But here's the thing. All any retailer has to do is open a D2D account, go to the last step in the upload process, and see roughly what a given avenue provides. I believe D2D would be better off just making it public knowledge, so account holders clearly understand how they're getting paid before deciding to choose that path. Overall, I am a huge proponent of Draft2Digital and consider them among the most widely respected and trusted companies in self-publishing. Though they have some shortcomings, it's greatly outweighed by their strengths. I'll keep you abreast of any changes or updates, so make sure you're subscribed to this channel and turn your notifications to all so you don't miss a single video. Remember how I was telling you about a negative review or two about Draft2Digital? You won't believe some allegations folks are slinging at them and other self-publishing companies. It's right on over here. And if you want a lighter video, then check out this recent live broadcast with D2D and Fable, where I interviewed reps from both companies about the recent partnership and how authors can reach over 650,000 avid readers. I'll see you in either one of these videos.